Hello, everybody out there. First of all, I would like to thank the organization for inviting me to this interesting forum to represent the Geological Survey of Chile. The information and discussion generated here will be of high interest for many people, but also for many countries. So I will show you an approach from the GeoSurvey perspective to the state of critical mineral exploration in Chile and its future development, as we are now trying to open the markets and define the policies for the diversification of our mining beyond copper and gold. The outlines for this presentation: I will give you some general information about Chile and Servicio, the Chilean Geological and Mining Survey. Then an overview in advance of the programs at Servicio that generate geoscientific information related to the exploration of mineral resources. Then the state of critical minerals in numbers of volume exportations. Also, I will tell you about an ongoing public-private initiative named Chile Polimetálico, focused on looking for today's gaps and future opportunities for the development of the critical mineral market. Then a quick overview of what we are doing now on mineral potential maps. And finally, some conclusions. So here in Chile, we are almost 19 million people, distributed on 760,000 square kilometers, with a gross domestic product close to $300,000 for 2019, 10% of which came from mining activity, and a per capita income of almost $15,000 per year. So here we are in Santiago right now. Servicio is the National Geology and Mining Service, or Geological Survey, here in Chile. We are part of the Ministry of Mining, and together with other agencies and public companies, as Codelco, which you may know from somewhere, as a world leader in the production of copper. So what we could do at the GeoSurvey to boost and support the development of critical minerals industry? Of course, we represent only one factor on an entire environment that must be in tune with those other factors to propitiate first the investment in exploration. That means attracting the companies. Some of these factors are quite subjective: the perception of, at one side, the geological potential, and by the other side, that of the investment climate. Of course, those perceptions which could lead to a decision must be supported by data and analysis regarding one particular country, state, region, or district, and its situation at one particular moment. Fortunately, we are the side of objective factors, I mean data. And of course, we are responsible for put out good pre-competitive geoscientific informations, PGI, and most important, knowledge on the geological factors affecting, in this case, the concentration of these particular groups of elements. In this diagram, Duke in 2010 represents the value chain of pre-competitive geoscientific information and its outcome at different stages of the mining cycle. As we see here, the maximum value of our contributions is at the beginning of the cycle, when all these outcomes, maps, reports, data, advice, and knowledge, conform the base over which any later specific study will be based on. But all these outcomes must be available at the right time. So we are mandated to arrive on time with our maps. But also our data reduce risk and cost for exploration, of course, improves and catalyze geological knowledge. So what do we have here in Chile? Well, a lot of data, and honestly, very good data. So since the early 60s, Servicio has been producing the geological charts of the country at different scales, improving the knowledge of the Chilean territory since then. From 10 years now, we are executing the National Mapping Program, and we have achieved some nice records for the Chilean geology. This program comprises 3 specific sub-programs: basic geology, stream sediment geochemistry, and terrestrial and aerogeophysics, including magnetometry, gamma ray spectrometry, and gravimetry. So for 2019, we have achieved these numbers on this table, we see for the 1 to 100,000 scale for regional geology, we have a coverage of 40% of the country. For geochemistry, at the scale of 1 to 250, we have 9%. And for geophysics, at the scale of 1 to 100,000, and a coverage of 19%. These last two programs are new. That's why the coverage is lower than the regional geology. So we have the first country-scale geophysical initiative and our first stream sediment geochemistry programs. So we see in these figures that the program has been focused on the northern part of the territory. That's because the mining activity is concentrated in this region, and the exploration, as you may know, the most important deposits and mining activity, like Chuquicamata, Los Bronces, Escondida, are located in this area. So right now we are moving south. We have some projects occurring in the central and southern parts of the territory. Of course, all these charts are available online in our portal, where you can access the SIG data, and also you can process and analyze this data online, but also it can be downloaded. Another type of information we publish that is very useful for exploration companies is that of the mineral resources of the country. So we publish it in two ways: as metallogenic maps at different scales, 1 to 100,000 and 500,000. And the coverage of this program at this moment, it reached 33% of the country. Now we have two projects right now ongoing in the southern part of the territory. That's yellow and green in this figure. So these charts provide a descriptive synthesis of each deposits, mineralizations, ores, byproducts, types, geological characteristics, among others. Also here are defined different metallogenic provinces or belts in the case of Chile, based on the genetic models described for similar deposits. And the other way, the second way we publish this information is as a mineral deposit database. All this information is put on a digital database that can be downloaded freely from our website. In this figure, it's displayed only for the copper, silver, and gold deposits. But this database has more than 10,000 entries for the whole country. So this is a very, very rich database with a lot of data that is very interesting for exploring companies. The third and final way we publish the pre-competitive data for exploration is the CIGEX web portal in this case. This is a platform where we make available all the basic geology information generated in the exploration projects developed in Chile, like geological maps, geochemical and geophysical data, drilling information, among others. This information is an HUMIN request from mining companies, and then we make it available at this web portal. The platforms and the legal regulation that supports it dates from 2017, and today we have close to 500 projects with all their basic geological information online. So the explorers can access previous studies in the area of interest, then again reducing cost and risk. Even more, altogether, this data allows to track the trends of the exploration activity. So as you see here in this figure, the metallogenic belts are described in different colors, and you see with the red dots where all the exploration projects are located. Most of them restricted to one or two metallogenic belts, which are very rich in deposits in the lights of previous and well-known mines and mine sites and exploration succeeds. So we see this information for the whole country. This is the central and the southern parts with the different metallogenic belts, again described for each of these regions. No? Remember that in this case, this figure is only showing copper, silver, and in this case, iron and silver ores. We can see, so we have arrived to the second part of the presentation. So to give you some context on the Chilean reality regarding the critical minerals exploration and mining, a good indicator could be the mineral exports in the last 40 years. As you see here, those are good news for copper, but bad news for the rest of the elements in the periodic table. So we have reduced 5% in the others minerals categories. So if we as a country are consistent with many recent policies and political decisions pointing towards a green future, mainly related to the production of greenhouse gas-free technologies for electric generation, I mean solar and wind technologies, and also with the electromobility revolution, which is right now ongoing around the world, definitely we have some work to do for the diversification of our mineral supply, either for local or overseas industrial productions. So those are bad news. So in this regard, in 2018 started the Chile Polimetálico Initiative as a part of the Alta Lake Corporation, which is a public-private entity with the missions of providing strategic information for the value enhancement of non-traditional mineral resources in order to encourage investment in Chile. As Sernageomin, we participate in this wonderful project, which is led by Guillermo Olivares. Cheers to Guillermo. So the goals of this initiative, as we can read here, is the identification of gaps and definition of an action plan to enable a diversified mining industry, generation the base of a national strategy for diversification of the Chilean mining with a polymetallic perspective beyond copper. So, taking into account the existing definitions for the critical minerals in the European Union and the United States, together with those identified by the World Bank as key minerals required for green energy technologies, the elements shown in this table are considered by Chile as critical minerals. Of course, this list is restricted to those elements present in the Chilean geology at concentrations suitable for economic extraction. Surely you will miss lithium on this list, and this is not here intentionally, because this element represents a complete history itself, and there is a lot of literature and work done here in Chile regarding its market, regulation, policy, etc. You can contact me later for more information on this mineral. So the column in the right indicates the category of Chile as a producer of each of these elements and the present day opportunities to produce them. Apart for molybdenum and silver, all the rest correspond to middle or small sized deposit or projects, actually at the present day here in Chile. So we have been a minor producer of silicon, iron, and also for magnesium, lead, zinc, selenium, tellurium, cobalt. And for titanium, some rare earth, and germanium and gallium, we have some opportunities for recovery, as we see in the next slides. So in this way, this initiative has defined some actions plans that suggest 4 types of projects or areas of actions that will be suitable for the recovery of critical minerals based on previous local experiences, but also international experiences. So these 4 action plans include: number 1, the potential development of multi-element mining projects from small to medium-scale natural mineral deposits with the presence of copper and other critical minerals that make the business viable. Number 2, recovery of critical minerals from mining waste or anthropogenic deposits, that's it, production of elements with commercial value from tailings, waste, slags, foundry powders, anode mud, etc. Number 3, recovery of critical minerals from environmental remediation projects for alternative post-mining land use. And number 4, exploitation of polymetallic deposits from the seafloor of the Chilean coast. So I will focus in the first type. There is where the geoscientific information has the major impact. Of course, regarding the exploration of seafloors, we have a lot to say. But again, this is a huge investigation area which is out of the scope of this presentation. For those of you who are familiar with the Chilean geology, but also for those who are not, there have been defined several metallogenic belts parallel to the continental margin, as you see here in different colors in this diagram. Those metallogenic belts are related in a general way to the evolution of the magmatism and the orogene since the Triassic, with the arcs or magmatic centers migrating from west to east up to its present day position in the high Andes. To keep it short and not to enter in detail, in the early Cretaceous belts highlighted in green in the figure and also in this table, is characterized by the occurrence of polymetallic deposits of different types like IOCJ, OIA, stratabounds, and skarns. There, the recovery of critical minerals is possible from copper deposits, but also some small deposits have critical minerals as its principal mineral. For the last year, our statistics shows that only 10% of the recognized deposits in Chile have other ores than copper, silver, or gold. If we look in detail this database, only 138 deposits contain critical minerals listed here, and only 11 fall in the middle-sized category. So in the same way, if we look at the exploration statistics for the last year, for a total of 108 informed prospects, only 17% declared other targets than copper, silver, or gold. 18 deposits for this category. So, as shown in the previous slides, most of the area corresponding to these metallogenic belts is covered with all the different types of geoscientific information we generate. And in the CGX platforms, we can see many exploration projects in these regions in the last years. So, despite these numbers, focused exploration using our data should yield to new discoveries, always in the middle to small-scale deposits, then being attractive for juniors and mining companies targeting this kind of deposits. To finish, I would like to show you some of the work we are doing right now with the Chile Polymetallico team regarding the construction of mineral potential maps. Taking our extensive stream sediment geochemical database for northern Chile, we are constructing mineral potential maps based on regional mineral anomalies identified from data analysis using neural networks. We are trying to produce a new layer of information to support exploration. As you see here in this figure, there are several, in this case, shown for ytterbium. There are several anomalies detected from the stream sediment geochemistry. Can be attributed to anthropogenic origin or natural origin. And this information, together with all the data I have shown you that are available from Servicio, it's allowing us to define these potential maps to facilitate and to orientate the exploration of some critical minerals in different parts of Chile. This example is for northern Chile in the region of Arica and Tarapacá. So finally, as the main conclusions, the role of Geological Survey supporting the development of national strategies is clue in the exploration and exploitation of critical minerals for a sustainable development. Servicio publish pre-competitive geoscientific information and geological knowledge through different types of geological maps and studies. Chile Polymetallico initiative is aimed to define the roadmap of the critical minerals market in Chile. pioneer on the analysis of new opportunities on the critical minerals exploitation and definition of policies for the future of this industry. Critical minerals in Chile are and will be mainly recovered from deposits with different principal ores like copper, silver, and gold. But focused exploration using the public geoscientific data provided by CERNA-GEOMIN should yield new discoveries of small and medium-scale deposits, then suitable for small and medium mining companies. New and better data, together with new genetic models for critical mineral deposits, are required to increase world reserves and to satisfy the growing demands for this special group of minerals. So thank you everybody for attending to this presentation, and here are some interesting links from where you can access all the information from CERNA-GEOMIN, from the Plan Nacional de Geología, which is the national mapping program. You can access here the CHEX platforms for the company's information. You can download the mineral deposit database here, and also, of course, you have here the link for the Chile Polimetálico initiative, which most of the information I have shown you here is come from. So thank you again. Good luck and see you soon.